he's very vocal, but he flies off the handle at very just unsuspecting times. Like, we just be talking like this. Next thing you know, he's just out of his seat screaming, F Jamie Dimon. And then he goes back to being completely just coherent, insane, and just talking like we are right now. It was, it was awesome. It was, he was just like, it was like some kind of animated, cartoon show, it's like, it was pretty incredible. He's such an intelligent guy.
These kind of like cocktail type people.
Yeah. Yeah, he's one incredible dude, man. But he'll just fly off the handles for a second and then go right back to just being low key and normal, and then just fly off the handles and right back to low key and normal. So that it keeps you on your seat, right on the edge of your seat. It's always fun.
How do you go about getting all the guests? You have to do a lot of phone calling and emailing people, or is anyone on the team that's doing it, or is it everyone just coming to you?
No, they mostly just come to us, and then we'll just, vet them. So mostly everything comes, via the community. So the community is the one that tells us who they want us to, to interview. So we'll say, hey, if you want us to interview them, have them hit us up. And then they'll hit us up, and then we'll just figure out a time that works for both of us and bring them on. But it's mostly just for the community. I don't usually, go outside of that and search people out. They usually come to us.
That's awesome. That's really cool. I love that. Really cool. So tell us a little bit more about the outside world. I mean, forget about the crypto for a minute. What's keeping you so busy in the real, like, who's the real Robert Beadles?
Dude, all I know is work. So that is all I know. What do you do for
fun then?
Work, man. I build businesses for fun. Like I'm like the most boring dude, that's like, the wife, they'll want us to go on vacations and stuff like that. And I'll go, but I'll be the guy, on the back of the boat or whatever on my laptop, working, I'll make time for my, stove or something like that. But, I just, for me, just, spending time with, family and friends and building stuff together is really what I love to do. I've got lots of friends that are, celebrities that, I could be doing all kinds of crazy stuff with them, but I'd much rather be, just building stuff and adding value to the world. Because at the end of the day, we're only here for, a little while. And I'd rather leave my mark, adding value and giving people stuff that they can use versus just going out and having a great time and, and kind of being a little blip, that was here for a second and gone and didn't do much other than party and have a good time.
You mean being a little Beatle?
Yeah, there you go. A little Beatle. Yeah. I mean, of course, it's spelled different than the Beatles, but
you're more like a giant beetle that's just like, don't mess with me. I'm a big beetle. You can't squish me. So what do you think about this Facebook thing?
So, for years, I've been telling people that cryptocurrency is like the biggest enslavement of people or the biggest, liberator of the people. And it's simply because with cryptocurrency, it's freedom, like Bitcoin. You can go anywhere in the world and have, total control of your currency and be able to spend it without anybody telling you what you can do with it. Whereas you can get somebody that could totally control your finances and lock you out or decide that you're not a very good human and basically shut down your access to your funds. Or there's just so many different little things that a big, powerful, Fed or Facebook type coin or something like that could mean. They already have our personal information. Now they'll have our financial information. And who's to stop them if they decide that they want to cut us off from our funds or what they're going to do with that data? So it is a little scary in that sense. But one of the things that I really love about it is that every time Libra coin or Global Coin or Facebook or whatever is brought up in the cryptocurrency arena, when it's talked about on TV or news articles, you know what they're bringing up right next to it? Bitcoin. And so you can see that Bitcoin has been going up in value because everybody's starting to realize, hold on a second here, this Bitcoin thing maybe isn't such a bubble, maybe it isn't such a scam, maybe there's some legitimacy to it, because now you got all these news people and regulators saying how great Bitcoin is and how scary Facebook is. So
yeah. I mean, even like the Bank of England was like commenting on like, well, we're not really sure about this Facebook thing, so we're gonna just Carney's always been the head of the Bank of England. He's always been very reticent of crypto everything, and he's always been very negative. But with Facebook, he was like, well, it's Facebook, so we're going to let them sort of have a little bit of leeway. But you could tell his tone was not, welcome to England. I mean, come, let's have crypto. It was more like, we've got you. We're watching you. It's like, it's one of these sort of things.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, they got close to 3 billion users. And so when they launch their cryptocurrency, whether it's a crypto or not, I mean, they're saying it is, but again, it's not like a Bitcoin type, peer-to-peer transaction method of sorts. It's more of 100 of the most powerful corporations on the planet running nodes
Yeah.
that have a centralized network that they're saying is decentralized.
Yeah, they accidentally get their hands on our data as they transmit the information, and it's a permissioned centralized ledger, so that hardly makes it decentralized in any form or fashion.
Yeah, you got these 100 corporations that are basically ponying up, $10 million to Facebook to run a node. So you'll end up with tons of money that are supposedly, or assets backing up their Libra coin, creating a less volatile stable coin of sorts used on their platforms. So in theory, basically 1.7 billion underbanked people could have a bank overnight. 3 billion people could be able to take their currency anywhere in the world with them and spend it however they want. It could do a lot of great things. However, we've seen Zuckerberg's past quotes, where he calls us all a bunch of effing, retards and stuff like that. And he can't believe that we actually just give him our information. So when you have somebody like that at the helm, it makes you really question his motives. Like, is he really doing this for the betterment of the people?
Right.
Or did he just find a new way to control the world? Right. So,
well, I mean, Yuri and I have often had discussions about projects like Steam It, where you have whales that control who gets their content promoted or not. And we've talked about EOS and its little mini cartel, which is not consensus. And I look at Facebook and I think, Yuri and I have had conversations about this where we've said, is this not just another form of a cartel where, hey, I got a good idea. Hey, Robert, I've got an idea for you. How about you give me $10 million and I'm going to give you access to 3 billion people's data every time they transmit it. And all you have to do is just give me $10 million. And that's all it costs to access all that data. But of course, because it's a decentralized internet, no one will know that it's actually just running through your systems, and how we can all really be sheep and prove that to Zuckerberg if that's really what he's been saying. And then he's just proving the point by doing this because he's flaunting it in our faces and we're suckers to actually fall for it. I left Facebook 2 years ago, by the way. I have not gone back. I only use it for live feeds and for posting stuff for our show, but privately I'm off of it for 2 years now. But it's that kind of stuff that frightens me because, it's like, where are we really going with this one, guys? I mean, I'm like you. I want the unbanked to be banked. I want them to have insurance. I want them the ability to have, you and I were talking about this last night, right? What was it that you said? About the unbanked?
Particularly about the unbanked or owning property. Like that's like another one of the big issues.
Rights.
Title rights. Yeah.
Yeah, healthcare.
IDs, just having a proof of who you are and have access to your birth certificate. Yeah, that's difficult issue.
Accenture did a study and it was like 33% of the world is unbanked. 33%. And, my wife, Polly, who also, and she also works with our show, she's from Poland. 20% of Poland is unbanked. I was shocked. I couldn't believe it. I said, you know what? We need to start spending more time in Poland and start fixing that because that's not okay. My grandmother's from Poland. Her whole family's from Poland. So we actually did a trip about a week ago and spent time with the Polish Blockchain Association. And I mean, we're literally there talking with like the leaders of Poland in crypto who all came in from Warsaw. They came from Krakow. They came from Poznan and all sorts of other parts of the country. And they're just there like, right, what do we have to do? So she and I both did presentations talking about it, and adoption's a big thing. But my God, it's like, you guys need to solve your own country problem. If we could just build apps for these people and give them access to basic services like, they probably don't even have healthcare because they may not have IDs because they don't have banking and they can't get insurance. And how is that fair? Right?
Sure. Blockchain offers a lot of value. It really does. But then again, like I said, it could be Pandora's box where Facebook, their global coin, their Libra coin, whatever you want to call it, it could basically be it could be the big business of the globe, right? It could be like the total privatization or institutionalization of big business into our lives for everything, right? Imagine 100 of the biggest corporations on the planet all controlling our finances. Visa, MasterCard, central banks, regular banks, all of them could be a thing of the past. This could be like the global currency that crushes everything. You could have because some of these corporations are, they're larger than governments. They're larger than countries. You know what I mean? We're talking, they got the people, they got the money, they got the tech, and now they got the currency. This could be like an end game type thing where it basically becomes the global coin. So it's, Visa, MasterCard, banks, they should all be worried.
Some would call conspiracy theory, or would call it Illuminati, or would call it one world order stuff. And then, of course, if you do your research, you'll find out that the words conspiracy theory are actually planted into our heads by the media, and most of the media companies are all rolled up to one or two wealthy families. So
5 families. Yep.
5 families, yeah, exactly. So you've done your research too.
Like I said, if you want to go dark, then this could be like the currency killer that basically enslaves the masses into one global coin that everybody has to use. And if you're not a good human in their viewpoint, you can lose all your financing. So that could be scary. Or you can look at it as far as 1.7 billion underbanked people now have bank accounts, and if they're good corporations and they don't do the evil stuff that we fear that they might do, this could be one of the best things ever for the globe. Who knows?
Yeah, I totally agree.
One or the other, that's for sure.
I really do hope that there's something good that comes from all of this, and I think the problem is it's a lot of wait and see right now that we have to do to wait till we get to a point where we find out, are they going to do the good thing and the right thing, or are we all going to stand here on the sidelines and say, let's have a war with Facebook?
Well, the regulators are terrified because this thing called fiat money, this paper dollar that they rule the world with as a global currency, could pretty much overnight be replaced by Libra coin. So they see that. It's like going from trading chickens to trading silver to trading paper to now this digital currency. And so you're just seeing these leaps and bounds in progress, here in a relatively short time since 2009 to now. Mm-hmm. And if they're not scared, they should be. And I think we can see the rhetoric in the news that they're very scared. So the message is curious to see what happens.
Very polarized toward negativity. But it's funny how they've kind of they've taken their eye off the Bitcoin negativity for a bit so they could focus on something else.
Yeah, and you can see Bitcoin's starting to go up. Starting to get some credibility.
Oh, we forgot to tell people how bad it is. Oh, no, it happened. What happened? Oops.
Exactly.
I can almost afford a node now. Okay, thanks to Bitcoin going up. No, I'm just kidding.
That's funny.
So what's the future for the Monarch wallet? I mean, do you have a bigger plan beyond the app? As far as building a company or building services into different communities, or is this more of a grassroots, see where it takes us as part of an experience and journey?
Yeah, I mean, what it will be is the one place to go for everything crypto and blockchain. So you have the Monarch wallet, you'll have the Monarch, marketplace, and basically all the best companies, all the best services will be in one place for you, and you'll be able to log in with one login, one KYC, have access to everything crypto, everything blockchain, and all from one place that you can take with you anywhere in the world. So we've already got a really good start on it, and we're just going to keep adding more and more services and companies to it and just adding more and more value to people for free. So there's no, monthly subscription fee. There's none of that stuff. Where we'll make our money is, on transaction fees, charging the merchant, for, crypto to fiat. We acquired our broker dealer license. We'll have a STO launch platforms, all that kind of stuff. And
that's really cool.
Wow.
Yeah, so we'll make money, from the merchant side of things, and try to always make sure that it's free for the customers as much as possible. Obviously, there's fees that you can't get around, like when they're using credit cards to buy crypto.
Yeah,
it is what it is. Chargebacks
as well.
Yeah.
What's that?
You have a credit card on ramp.
Yeah, we have bank on-ramps, we have credit card on-ramps, all the stuff's live today. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't know
this isn't like, some, pie in the sky idea. This is done. We're just adding.
I've got the wallet app already. I've had it for probably a few months already. I just didn't spot the onboarding with the credit card, probably because it just didn't need to, but that's a great feature.
Did you see that buy button?
No, I was too busy looking at the coin market cap of Bitcoin prices. I got
when
stuck
when
on
you
that
click
screen and I couldn't get off it.
when you click the old buy button, it'll give you an option, credit card or bank account. So obviously, when you hook up a bank account, there's a KYC process through all that stuff. Credit card's pretty instantaneous. Banks, it's a dinosaur legacy system, so we still have to